Hey guys, good morning. Here we're gonna Tuesday 8/14. Gonna do a little recap from yesterday. I got some emails and I want to address some. Number one was how come I don't reply back and discuss it over the YouTube, and the reason being is, I mean, if you guys want me to reply back, I will. I'm trying to answer your stuff on YouTube, and the reason I do that is, maybe the next guy has the same question, or if anybody has any questions along those lines. It's so I just try to address every issue, and I figured if I do that, then it'll eliminate a bunch of questions, and the next guy may have the same question. But let's go back to yesterday, and I got an email. How come I didn't take the 940 trade yesterday? 940, 940. Okay, Jake, right here. The reason why. Oh, how come I didn't take the 940 trade when it bounced off the upper pivot? So it did bounce off the other pivot, but I also had a pivot right below it, and I'm just not a fan of trading into the pivots here. I mean, I work pretty hard on these pivots. Does it blow through them like it did yesterday? Yeah. I mean, news. I've said it many times before. Certain news can absolutely make it blow through anything. Plus, I didn't have everything lined up. And I've said it many times before. No, you're not gonna, get every single big trade there is. But I'm going to show you all the trades that actually transpired yesterday that you could have taken. So I'm just do a whole recap from yesterday. So yeah, I didn't have everything lined up, but in retrospect here, it kept you out of chop, kept you out of chop, kept you out of chop. So we'll take the first trade that I had here yesterday morning. And how come I didn't take this one? Because I wasn't up and ready to take it, man. Didn't have enough coffee. I wasn't ready. All right, so right around here, right at the market open, I had these lined up. Just a sea of red. There was nothing below me. It was just, I was below my trail. Once again, I told you I'm not overly concerned about the 50. It's the pivots more so I'm worried about. And you saw that trade on the video I posted yesterday. And if you actually read, what I'm typing in there, I try to explain to the best I can. Sometimes it's hard to get it out there because the market can be moving. I'm trying to keep my eyes on that at the same time. But yeah, read what I'm typing in my text format there, and I try to describe it the best I can. Why, or what I'm looking for, what the next setup is. So that's about the best I can do right now. All right, so I went short there. I passed on this one because I was just worried about the levels. Yeah, it did blow through it, so I waited for the next setup. Okay, it was coming along. We broke through the level here. Everything lined up. I took it. I took profit early. I was already up, so I just refused to give any money back whatsoever. And that was it for the day. I mean, I was done. So if you guys missed any of these, a little hesitant on pulling the trigger. Here's your setup to go long. This is not a valid trade. This is not a valid setup. You're right into the pivot. And another question someone asked me, well, how many bars into back before it hits a pivot? If there's a pivot, will I take the trade? Well, normally I like to go 5 to 6 bars. And that's going to give you plenty of room to collect money, hit your target, get the break even. Chop, 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 chop. Very tight through here. I mean, there was just nothing in confluence. I mean, just look at that. It's just a gaggle of nothing right there. Finally breaks out the trail. Trail's down here, bounces off the pivot. There's nothing in front of it. You'd easily hit your targets here. Nothing. There's nothing. Got a short here. It's way back, so you're 1, 2, 3 bars back. So that's a good setup. There's a good setup. There's a good setup. There's a good setup. That's it. I mean, that's it. You should be done for today. So that was pretty much just as accurate as you can get there. And this was yesterday's results. That's where we're at right now. Let's see. And just a little tidbit information I want to, I just want to pass along to a lot of people. Whether you own the system or not, or whether you trade, minute or whatever it is, but if you look around every hour, now it's not every hour on the hour, and it's not every single day, but I do look around the hour because there's a lot of reversals that happen around the hour, sometimes a couple minutes before, a couple minutes after, and I'll show you what I'm roughly talking about. So here's 9, and I can go back every single day and point this out. So here's 9, we're going down. Let's go to the next hour. Here's 10. Okay, still going down. About 10, 15 minutes later, reverses. Let's go to 11. Chop, 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 chop. We're going up. Let's go to around 12. Reverse is coming down. Round 1. Little chop there, and it goes a little higher. So you just be cognizant of that. That's all. That's all I'm saying. As we move on. Wow. I gotta get up at 2 o'clock and start trading. That's a great trade there. I would have passed on this one. A lot of levels to break through. Pass on this one. Your line is your trail is above, so you want it to be below. That a beautiful trade right there. That's incredible. That's your money maker. That is a huge money maker. Okay, here we are now, and I should be going long. I'll wait till the market opens. Could have went long right there. All right. Let's see. All right, another email. When and how to go live. He's done really well in sim. Doing very well in sim, but he's just afraid to pull the trigger to go live. Man, I ain't gonna lie to you, that's hard. That's tough, especially if you're new and this is your first time funding your account. It's always tough. My recommendation would be you have to get your confidence up. Keep simming and do some market replay. Track your trades. Understand where you're at. And worst, I tell you what we might do. Maybe one day this week or maybe one day next week. I would probably highly recommend you go to MNQ. There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. As a matter of fact, I just might go to MNQ next week. I really haven't traded it. I know the volume's there. It moves just like this one here, except for the great thing about it is you're gonna lose less. You ain't gonna make a lot, but you'll definitely lose less, and that'll get your confidence where you can just slowly move over into NQ here. Who else? I want to address this one here. I'm getting emails. Your system seems to be really good, so why are you selling it? Well, I mean, I think that's the $1 million question, and that's the $1 million answer. It's simple. It's to make more money, man. I mean, I'm running a business, trying to be an entrepreneur. I do have a phenomenal system, and it's not only for that reason. It's also, there's times that I'm helping people. If I wouldn't have taken those trades yesterday, I would have kept trading, but I ended up helping a gentleman who has a MacBook through Parallels, and he was struggling. I mean, that's probably the hardest way to go. And I'll tell you folks right now, if you're trading with a MacBook and Parallels, I wouldn't keep your workspace on it because it gets lost in the virtual world, and it's going to be very hard to bring it back. So I spent an hour and a half trying to help him out. So a lot of times I'm busy. So as far as taking care of issues, and that a wise man once told me a long time ago, and I truly believe it. If I can help enough people get to where they want to be in life, and I'm not sure who said it. I'm not saying I don't know who the famous person is. The quote, you may have heard it, may not. But if I help enough people get to where they want to be in life, it's inevitable. I'm gonna get to where I want to be in life, and that's pretty much as simple as it gets right there. Let's see, Harold, doing really well. First live trade I took yesterday. I did take the trade that you took. Got in a little later, but was profitable. My wife is interested. Can she get a discount? Actually, Harold, no, she can't get a discount. And by the way, he only has one computer. So what you'll do is, if you're going to buy another computer, just shoot me your machine ID, man. We'll hook her up because it's good for 2 machine IDs. So you don't have to pay anything for it. Just shoot me your machine ID once you get it. Cool. Stay away from the MacBook and parallels. Who else here? Jeff. Where's Jeff? I got this email from Jeff. Is your stuff crossed out, Jeff? This was Friday, this past week, and I just love these stories. Got home late in the day, took one long, first target hit to move to break even plus 2 ticks, got stopped out for plus $70. 3 contracts, took short first and second target hit, trailed third plus 530. Not bad at all. I love it. Thanks, Jeff. I believe, Jeff, you can correct me if I'm wrong. Shoot me an email. I think this might have been only his 3rd trade. I believe it's his 3rd trade, and I think his first trade was for about 120, and now he's ended up with 530 plus his 120 off 3 or 4 trades. Jeff is going to be a phenomenal trader. I'll show you his chart here he sent me. Jeff has the discipline and the patience and the confidence that a lot of traders need to learn to have. But yeah, good trade here, Jeff. The only thing I do recommend for anybody, and along with myself, and it doesn't always work out that way, is when you get the perfect setup or the lineup, you could have got in a little earlier, but I always try to wait for a retracement, and it looks like you might have got it right in here. I can't tell, but when you get this setup, folks, you want this to pull back. I like either 30 to possibly 50%, and there's been sometimes I've nailed it when the wick comes way up at the very top, and it just turns out to be a phenomenal trade. So hey, Jeff, really good job there. Let's see who else. Can I compare my system to other systems? No, man, I don't do that. I've owned a lot of other systems before, and I just don't do that. I don't badmouth anybody. I don't question anybody what their intentions are. So no, I'm not going to talk about other people's systems. That's not good for business. That's not who I am. I mean, I just don't talk bad about other people or other things unless you piss me off. Let's see, Bennett. Yeah, you guys know who Bennett is. Still ain't heard from him. Let's see, what else here? Oh, am I allowed to be showing my trades? Well, I mean, I am. Nobody's told me not to. I haven't read anything that said I can't, so I'm not sure what that is. Certain people hold certain license for whatever reason. Some say, an excuse not to. Once again, I don't challenge them or their integrity. They do their thing, I do mine. I leave them alone, they leave me alone. So that's what that is. Let's see. Yusuf, hey man, I just appreciate you, brother. Yusuf is the founder owner of Pyramid Indicators, and he is just a master programmer, and he's really had to jump in and help me out. So you guys can go visit him at over at Pyramid Indicators. Let's see. I think that's a wrap, guys. I want to get set up here, and let's see what the day holds for us. And I'll be posting this video, and then I'll just go ahead and this is already 15 minutes long, so I want to post it. Bogs down my computer, and then we'll do a recap maybe tomorrow towards the end of the week, but we'll get posting here. Hopefully I don't have to help anybody out too much longer, especially during the market open. So we'll see you guys in a little bit. Amen. Happy trading.